Welcome to Topic A, everyone. I'm your host, Gary Perna. This week on Topic A, we're going to talk about the city of Hazleton, their code department, the fire department, and the changes being made to make Hazleton a safer place. Hazleton Mayor Jeff Cusat and Fire Chief Leshko join me after the break to talk about what's being changed in the city and how they're making it safer for you and I. All that coming up on Topic A when we're right back after the break.
The Beer Garage, 202 East Diamond Avenue in Hazleton. More than just beer. Coffee, all sizes, only $1. Get your lottery tickets here, too. Stop in today, The Beer Garage in Hazleton.
Hey everyone, want some close-to-home outdoor fun? Join the Keystone Active Zone Passport program to create your own backyard adventure, exploring local parks, trails, and events. It's fun, easy, and free. Enjoy Riverfest in Wilkes-Barre, guided walks and bike rides, the D&L Trail, and more. Register at kazpassport.org. Visit as many stops as you want. Each stop has a question. Find the answers and log them on the website. Start exploring today.
Watch Off the Beaten Path on WYLN TV 35 and discover the Pennsylvania you never knew existed.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Welcome back to Topic A, everyone. I'm joined by Hazleton Mayor Jeff Cusat and Hazleton City Fire Chief Leshko. We're going to talk about, first of all, we're going to talk about some new changes in the code department. When Mayor Cusat took over, he took the code department out from underneath the police department and put it with the fire department. So, Mayor, I want to start with you. And why did you feel that that was important to move it in line with the fire department for them to oversee how code operates?
The fire department's there 24 hours a day. A lot of the incidents we have with the code fall under the fire department. They have inspection. The fire department already goes in places, does inspections. It just kind of fit together that I thought it did. It kept the police officers on the road more. And the fire department would handle these situations.
And Chief Leshko, with you guys, I know, for many years you all worked together with this, but with yourself, Deputy Chief Sean Jones, Deputy Chief Brian Mandak, now kind of overseeing it, has it been a little bit easier for you guys to be able to do inspections? Because I know you have to do fire inspections, so are you be able to do code at the same time to look to see what's going on?
It definitely works hand in hand. I mean, both departments working hand in hand, and overseeing the code department now, it just makes life a lot easier for both departments because pretty much any violations we run into code is always dealing with fire. Anything we're dealing with fire is dealing with code. So you have both departments now working together under one roof. And again, with our staff we have there, it just makes things a lot easier. We're trying to simplify a lot of the operations in code. And again, this is working with the staff of code. I mean, they have one terrific staff there, and they're a great team. They go out there every day and they're doing a great job. And again, it's just working together under one unified structure now. And pretty much we know between both departments what's going on.
So how does it work with the code department? Is there still separate staff from the fire department? Yeah,
still separate staff. What happens is, pretty much between myself and the two deputies, we oversee the operations of code. There is Andrea Weichman, she's in there. She's handling a lot of our day-to-day operations, working with her staff. And pretty much, you know, code is, you know, the staff there, again, they get the complaints come in, they're handling them. If they're out on the road and they get a complaint, they handle it. If we get complaints given to us, we refer it to code, and especially on weekends. You know, if there's, we tried now, we're working like 6 days a week in the code office, so Monday through Saturday, and sometimes Sunday if we need, we have somebody in from code working. But working together, again, it's just simplifying the operation. And again, if there's an issue that the code needs, those staff needs to contact one of the chiefs, we work with them on that. But again, pretty much the department is running very well. Again, there's always going to be those minor hiccups, there's going to be those minor bugs, but we are trying to get it out of it and just more or less get everything streamlined and making it better for the end users, our citizens that we deal with, that we have to work with every day.
Mayor, when you change this and put the code under the fire department, you know, what are some of the things I remember when you first took office you were looking for to have them do to handle to kind of bring the city back up to code where it should be?
Well, they're out and about. They have more of a knowledge of what causes fires and what to look for in certain situations when you go into an inspection on the properties with you know, like outdoor fires. So I think it made more sense to me to have the fire department overseeing and teaching the code department some of the things that you should look for inside buildings.
Well, when you put this together and changed this, was there, you know, something that you specifically were looking at to have the code department work with the fire department, but to have the code department go out, you know, to clean up the city? Were there major issues that you saw that had to be taken care of?
Well, we were just looking at it as an overall picture. I don't know, we had 3 great leaders up there at the fire department that I thought would really be an asset to the code office. I mean, at the time, we just recently lost the longtime employee that was there, that was the actual leader of the department. So we're just looking for something that could fit in and handle the situation, you know, walking in the first day.
Chief, there have been a couple of changes that kind of been noticed. Of course, now there are a lot more door-to-door, a lot more of people going out. So what's kind of the philosophy behind this to make sure that, you know, Hazleton's being cleaned up? The biggest
thing we did do is right when we became right when the mayor appointed us to take over the code office, we had a meeting with Judge Zola, the magistrate Judge Zola. We really sat down and we went over of how the initial process was taking place. You know, we do know the quality of life ticket was a big thing that was going on in the city, handling the issues. There was some issues there with the quality of life ticket that wasn't really working correctly. So we went between ourselves, the code staff, our solicitor Donnie Karpovich, and Magistrate Zola, along with the mayor. We sat down and really tried to look at that whole emphasis of what we can do to get people to adhere to the codes of the city. And we started doing notice of violations, you know, making sure notice of violations, that after so many days, they were given so many days to correct the problem. If it's not corrected, then we proceed to the next step would be the magistrate. And we've seen that process has seemed to be working out a lot better for us. It's getting a lot more results. And also, I think a big issue is it's the one-on-one service. You know, code, when they're going out there, making one thing that we did stress to them is we want that customer service approach, that when they go out to a complaint, you know, and we do get some complaints that are anonymous, and we try to make everybody, when they make the complaint, that we want to try to get a contact person, because sometimes, you know, there's that feud between neighbors that they don't want to make us a complaint or written, and we go out to look at an issue and find that there is not an issue, and then you're coming back and you're getting the same complaint the following day. So we're trying to do a lot of personal one-on-one issues, talking to people, and we've noticed that by talking to the person that has the issue, and working with them to get it corrected, we have seen a lot of that happening and getting corrected. And again, we're not saying everything's not happening overnight. There's a lot of things that it's going to take time, and some people say, well, I haven't seen nothing change. Well, there's been a lot of change. I mean, there's been a lot of action on properties that we've had issues with, and right now we're in the process of, you know, just working on a multitude of properties that either need to get taken care of, fixed, repaired, or to the purpose of they might have to be demoed. So we are working on that issue right now.
I was going to ask you, is the majority of what you're dealing with dilapidated buildings, high grass?
Well, right now during the summer months, of course, it's going to be the high grass, the weeds, you know, the garbage and all that, because the summertime, everybody's out. Everybody's out trying to spruce up their property. That's one thing we want to make sure is that people keep sprucing up their property and getting the high weeds taken care of, getting the grass. The biggest thing is some properties right now that are abandoned, which they're abandoned because not so much of being maybe an absentee property owner, it's being that they are abandoned because the person that lived there is now deceased and that property wasn't left to nobody. And that property, that person might not have had no family. So now that property is just sitting there in limbo, and now we have to go through the process through our solicitor to try to get that property taken care of. And the one advantage that we have is, being the great staff that we do have, they're even out there trying to take care of those properties, going above and beyond to get those properties taken care of. And in that time, we'll more or less try to put that against the property in a lien or be billed to try to get that, recoup that cost that it's costing us to take care of them. It's not that we're out there every day taking care of cutting grass on properties, but some properties, I've had residents already say to me where they complained about high grass. The code people just said, listen, we're going to go cut it, and they take that half hour out of the day, cut the grass, and it just solves the problem. And the biggest reason, because a lot of these properties that we're now seeing they're deceased people that have not left their properties to anybody, have no family either. And that's a lot of things we do come upon that some people think, well, there's nothing going on with the property. It's because the person that owned that property is now deceased, and we're trying to find out where the property goes next.
Okay. All right, stay with us, everyone. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back on Topic A with more from the Chief and the Mayor. Stay with us.
Were you satisfied with your child's education this school year? Well, take a look at what Marian Catholic High School has to offer. Students are challenged academically, spiritually, morally, and physically. Excellent student-teacher ratio and a full array of clubs and activities. 90% of all grads continue on to higher education. A sound investment in your child's future. Affordable tuition and scholarships are available. Log on to our website or call today for a free tour.
Visit the Luzerne County Convention and Visitors Bureau website at tourinapa.com for the listings of the many events you will find in Luzerne County. From wine festivals, hill climbs, tomato and kielbasa festivals, you will find it all in Luzerne County. Luzerne County was named the best outdoors destination in Pennsylvania by the official Best in PA website. The Luzerne County Convention and Visitors Bureau will help you relax, relive history, and marvel at the area's stunning natural beauty. Luzerne County, you'll find it right here in Northeast PA.
Go Hog Wild for Iron Pigs Baseball. WYLN is televising the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs live. America's favorite pastime on your local network, WYLN TV 35. See the Stars of Tomorrow at Coca-Cola Park. Don't miss any of the games here on WYLN TV 35. Visit WYLNTV.com for a complete Iron Pigs schedule. Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs on WYLN, your home for live sports.
If you're not in danger and you see a crime, text 274-637, 274-637, 274-637. Send your tip, take them off the street. Text 274-637. Send your tip, take them off the street. No one will know your identity.
Now helping to solve or prevent the crime is just a text away. Text my tips to the word crimes and let the law help you.
If you haven't found the perfect fishing getaway, you haven't been to Captain's Cove. Located on Henderson Harbor in upstate New York, Captain's Cove offers a variety of accommodations to please just about anyone. The motel, also located on the harbor, offers a magnificent view. Enjoy free morning coffee, air-conditioned rooms, cable TV, and HBO. The cottage can accommodate up to 8 people with 3 bedrooms, a complete kitchen, washer, dryer, 2 full baths, air conditioning, an outside grill, and picnic table. Call us today for rates and information at 1-800-824-FISH.
WYLN has strong ties to the community and is committed to important causes like the American Cancer Society and Helping Hands Society telethons. WYLN's commitment to Pennsylvania continues with the broadcast of Hazelton's Fun Fest Parade and the Christmas and St. Patrick's Day parades in Wilkes-Barre. In the summer, we broadcast the Weatherly and Giants Despair Hill Climb. And throughout the year, we provide important community services through the broadcast of town meetings, school board meetings, election night coverage, and other community events. WYLN, we're your local network.
Welcome back to Topic A, everyone. I'm joined by Hazelton Mayor Jeff Cusat and Fire Chief Donald Leshko. We're talking about code enforcement issues, and before we get off the code issue of today's show, you initiated a code sweep, Mayor, earlier in the year to go through it and kind of blanket an area. You said it was very successful, and you're looking at doing it again.
Yes, one of our plans all along was to go through city by city, grid it out, and start cutting up and going through places. That's one of the reasons that I hire Don Karpovich, with his expertise in code enforcement and zoning. We organized the first one. We did 200 homes. There was 52 issues we found, so that takes a lot of time to write up 52 NOVs and then making sure they're okay. So now we're just about ready to move on to the next grid, and we'll go through the whole process again. And it's going to take a couple of years, but eventually we'll get through the entire city, and just go through, just to have that.
And how beneficial are they, for the city to break it down neighborhood by neighborhood, to go after and target that one area instead of bouncing around the entire city?
Well, it's easier, logistically wise. It's, you want to spruce up one area. You tell people you're coming, they'll clean up. The neighbors will start cleaning up. And it did bring awareness to other parts of the city that, I didn't know that was illegal or not up to code before. So then they started cleaning up. So it has a dramatic effect over the entire city, even though we just hit that one spot at the time.
All right, so there's your fair warning. They'll be out again very soon. So I do want to turn over to the fire department. A couple things, Chief. I recently data was released that the fire department will be receiving some money for a local shared account, of course, from the gambling money. So a lot of projects going on within the fire department aspect of it.
Yeah, we were awarded a few weeks ago a LSA grant of $113,000. We initially applied for $200,000, but through the LSA process, it came down to $113,000. What we're going to be doing with that money is our first priority is to be putting a roof on a 14th Ward fire station. And then all 3 fire stations will see work after that, such as windows and doors. We have some windows and doors in some of our buildings that are, just not energy efficiency.
Right.
So we're going to be working with that money to try to get as many windows and doors changed out to make the buildings more energy efficiency. And that's our big goal in the fire department. We really try to cut down our operational costs of buildings and even maintenance on our apparatus. A few years back, we changed over our one fire station. We had 2 fire stations that had heating oil being used at them. We changed over to natural gas, which is a lot less, cost-wise for operational costs. We were saving money there. Our plan is hopefully by next year to get our last building transferred over to natural gas, which all results in savings, and savings results in savings to the taxpayer. Is the adage, I think, and the mayor will say this, is we got to run each department as a business. You got to run a department that you're looking at your funding, because we can only go to the bank, to almost to the people for so much money, and we got to really try to work within our budgets, and we're trying to stay within our budgets that we have. But the biggest thing is this LSA cost will help us adapt these buildings, get them more energy efficiency, which, right now as a city, we all know the city, the money, the issues the city has, but biggest thing is working at that money to get our buildings upgraded, get our buildings secured, more energy efficiency, which will result in savings for years to come.
And I know also one of the things listed is potentially looking at a new fire truck. And I know, Mayor, when you and I think first spoke, maybe one of our first shows after being elected, you talked about replacing the aging fleet, not only the fire department, the streets department, the police department, and some of LSA money coming in will kind of target all 3 of those departments fleet-wise.
Yes. We're looking at every department for equipment and thing. I mean, the fire department, the trucks are the most costly, and they probably last the longest.
Right.
We are looking to plow trucks and the little dump trucks. We do have 2 of each on order. We were awarded a grant for emergency vehicles, which we're going to try to get a couple more vehicles into the police and code department. We just got 2 other cars for the police department. So we have to, everything we have is aging. Our snow plows are from 2002. I mean, they're 14 years old. We're spending more money on maintenance than we are, if we had to make payments.
Right.
So that's one of the things we have to look at, when looking for the future.
And I know, Chief, we had spoken in the past about the cost of a new vehicle for the city, and just replacing a fire engine is a couple $100,000.
Yeah, right now we're in a process. The city budget, city CD budget's already approved with an expenditure of money in there every year for the purchase of a new fire truck. Right now, the estimated cost of that new fire truck is about $450,000. One thing we're going to, we're doing as a city, which I think is a financial, definitely a financial plus for the city, is we're going to lease those vehicles. Leasing them out over a term of between 4 to 5 years is just an exceptional thing. The fire truck and even the plow trucks, they're lasted anywhere between 15 to 20 year lifespan. We're going to lease them out over a 5-year span of time. The biggest thing is we're going to save money on the long run is the cost. You know, the price today is the price we're going to pay for the vehicles, not spacing it out over years and seeing increases. So working with we have a financial package together to do that with those vehicles, to pay for them to really get the updated fleet. You know, we bottom line those in the wintertime with our snow around here, no department can move in the city without having DPW trucks out there doing the job. So we're getting them updated, working with the fire department. We have a new pumper, hopefully will be ordered on soon, and then also working with the police department and code, because the bottom line is, you know, we have vehicles, but also we need to keep those vehicles maintained and also in top running order to get the job done so we can do our job effectively every day.
Yeah, and of course, you know, you can't put out the fire if you don't have the equipment to do so. So there's a lot going on there. Mayor, you know, looking at the steps that have been taken in, you know, since January. So, you know, we're 7 months into the year. There have been a lot of steps forward with the police department, which we'll talk about in an upcoming show. But the fire department, the code, zoning, you know, the city's, when you took office, you want to move them forward to clean up the city, to make it a better place for everybody. Are the steps being taken today that you campaigned on to make the city better?
I believe they are. I mean, it's a slow process. You know, when I first walked in on January 4th, I told this guy here, we're going to have everything in place by January 1st. He thought I was nuts, but it's looking for 17. You know, so we're going to take this entire year to put things in place, so then the rest of it'll run smoothly after that. You know, we're going through a lot of learning curves with what falls into place, where we can move things from, who could help out doing, you know, double jobs. You know, so I think we're on target. I think I have a tremendous staff that everybody accepted a second responsibility. You know, the fire department all did. You know, Ralph is now taking care of the transit, the parking, and the airport for me. I mean, everybody stepped up just because we can't afford to hire the proper employees. We're running now 7 employees in the hole than what we should have, you know, because we don't want to go to the taxpayer. I mean, eventually we're going to have to make the transition and hire those people. But this year, you know, everybody stepped up and they're doing a great job, and I couldn't ask, you know, for anything more.
All right, guys, we're going to take a short break. Our last break here. Stay with us on Topic A. We'll be back right after this.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric, Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
Join us this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. We're going to take a little bit of a different turn on the show. We want to talk to you about addiction. We want to talk to you about depression. And we want to talk to you about how, if you're suffering from these or you know someone who is, how you can get help. That's what's coming up this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. Join us.
Welcome back to Topic A, everyone. In our final about 4 minutes and 30 seconds, Mayor, you know, there's been a lot that has gone on in the city, you know, over the last 7 months. But, you know, I have to commend both the police department and the fire department working hand to hand. I've never seen such a working relationship between the two departments, no matter what the situation is. The fire department backing up the police, vice versa. You know, so as mayor, that must make you feel good that your departments, they work together, the street department as well, you know, being part of that.
Well, I think all our departments work very well together. You know, we all have to be going in the same direction to get anywhere. Like you said about the snow, you know, if they can't get the snow department, if the snow can't be cleaned, the fire can't do their job, the police can't do their job, you know, so you need everybody out there, you know, so it starts with the DPW, then it would go to the code to enforce the sidewalks, to clean the ways for the police and the fire and the parking, you know, everybody has to come hand in hand every day.
Chief Leshko, there have been many incidents where you guys have support for the police department during, even recently, the most recent incident on Diamond Avenue, providing lighting, shutting down streets, stuff like that. Is that a common thing for departments, in cities like this to work together to do that?
I feel it is. I mean, we are one big department. We are one big family, I always say, is that, and I have great admiration, especially for my department, for my guys. They do a fantastic job. My career staff and volunteer staff do a great job every day. I have a great team and one of the best. But, you branch out of the fire department, you go to police, DPW, code. We're all one big team.
Mm-hmm.
We work together. Again, my greatest admiration for the Hazelton Police Department, and Chief Spezial and his entire staff, Frank Vito, DPW, and in the code office, and the City Hall workers. Everybody's
Mm-hmm.
just working together. They do a great job. They're giving their effort for the city. And everybody, there's time where they some people take hits for their jobs. They said, oh, you work for a government agency, you work for a city, you have a cake job. And guess what? I tell you what, you come work in some of these people's shoes, or, come work in the shoes of people every day that they're out there every day doing the job. And it's not that easy. I mean, the biggest thing, I heard a perfect comment made the other day by Lieutenant Governor of Texas. He made a comment about the police going to work every day, and the fire service and EMS people. Every day he says he knows he's going home at the end of his day, at the end of his shift. He said a police officer, a firefighter, and EMS worker, they're not guaranteed they're going home after every shift. And he says that even the President of the United States can't make that comment that he doesn't know if he's not going home because, he knows he's going home after every incident. And the same with the Lieutenant Governor and all that. But again, it's just the admiration. And the biggest thing I always tell residents is, you see any of those workers, you see them out there doing their job, give thanks. Thank them for the job they do. They're out there doing a great effort. They're out there making the best they can for the most important thing is the protection of our citizens. We have a great city. We have great residents. We know we sometimes get a bum rap about what goes on in the area, but when I look at what goes on around throughout the country, we live in a great area.
We do, and I had a conversation today with a gentleman who just opened a business in the city, who said, people give the city a bad rap, but there are good people still here that are making the city work, and Mayor Cusat, you saw that when you ran for mayor, and that's why you said you got into it to make sure that this was a great place to live and work.
It still is. It's a great community. You have that feeling of your neighbors, the people around you, and that's what was here. That's what we're trying to bring back, and that's what makes Hazelton so great. Everybody supports each other.
All right. Well, Mayor and Chief, I thank you both very much for coming on. And of course, a lot to look forward to in the city of Hazelton, especially with the code department, the fire department. And they did give you a warning, code sweeps are coming back. They did one. There's another one coming back. So make sure your property is up to code. And if you have any questions, of course, you can always call City Hall and ask for the different departments, including the code department, the mayor's office, and every department in the city. Thanks so much for joining us here on Topic A, everyone. This is where the community comes to talk. This is where you get the information like nowhere else can give you. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you next time.
For over 25 years, Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range, 118 Boulevard Road, Bloomsburg, has provided professionally designed skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields. All stations are handicapped accessible, with resident NRA certified shooting instructors on site. There are packages available to fit anyone's budget, restaurant and catering on site. Our facility is also available for weddings, business meetings, bachelor and private parties. Call 570-384-2314.
Get the entire story when it's convenient for you and get it from WYLN News. 2 daily newscasts from your #1 source for local news. WYLN's Evening Edition News at 5:30 and WYLN's Late Edition News at 10. More than just headlines, it's the whole story. In-depth reporting on hot topics and more. Plus, the area's most accurate weather report from the WYLN Weather Center. More news, weather, and sports twice a day, only on WYLN. We're your local network.